How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the Fergie Way. With me, Teach FM. Manchester City did manage to beat us. However, today we go into a game against Chelsea where we can sort of, try and build a little bit more momentum, try and get the guys happy again. But before that, going to have a little bit of a team meeting, and we also have to address the problem that is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And I never thought I'd be saying Ibrahimovic would be a problem, but anyone who's been watching this series will remember he got a 4 or 5 month injury. He'd done his cruciate ligaments or his Achilles tendon. It was one of the two. And there was rumours at the time, even self-admitted rumours by himself, that he doesn't think he'll be able to make it back to his best. And I think it has to be said, he's not. As we can see here, it's now been 7 hours game time since he's found the net. And I think it's maybe about time we call the career as Zlatan. I mean, he's still got it. He's still got it in abundance where it's required for the role that he plays. Unfortunately, he's just not bagging the goals. And at this moment in time, I need the goals to come. So it does sort of leave me with somewhat of a quandary. Who do I bring in? And how is it going to affect this season? So right now, as you know, I've been trying to chase Dybala. It's not going to happen. Unless he has a falling out with the club, it's not going to happen. I've tried pursuing, I've tried to somewhat unsettle him. It's not worked. He's happy to stay at Juventus. So it sort of leaves me up the creek without a paddle. But with regards to buying anyone else, who do I buy? Now, I mentioned in the last episode, say Lewandowski or any of the other slightly older players now who I know will be able to do a job. Maybe your Karim Benzema, players like that. But of course, they're not going to be able to walk into the squad and play in Europe, and that's the biggest goal this season. So try and get someone into play in Europe. There's even Harry Kane who we could maybe have a look at. But again, European football is what we're trying to win, and these guys aren't going to be able to feature this year. So it's going to be quite tricky to try and add to the squad in January while making sure that we bring in I want to bring in a world-class striker in a sense of he doesn't have to be world-class, but if he's played 20 games and scored 17 goals, I want him. He could be world-class but played 30 games and scored 5. I'm not interested. I want a goal-getter. I want a goal-scorer who can come in and within reason start the games and hopefully be available for Europe, but I think that might be a bit of an ask. So this is my scouting screen, and as we can see, there's players here who are realistic to come to the club. So Neymar is realistic, but he's going to cost 171 million quid. I'm not going to bother doing that. Gabbiadini is same realistic, but I know he's not going to. He's only just moved to Real Madrid, so I'll be wasting my time there. Goetze, you're not a striker, I don't care what you say. Then we've got the likes of Mauro Icardi, playing at Arsenal. He's been doing all right for them, it has to be said. But we'll just take a look at him. 18 goals in 26. Another problem here, though, is would I want Icardi if he can't play in Europe? And I think I'm going to have that problem going forward with a lot of the players. Again, we take a look at the list here. Harry Kane, probably a decent viable option who can play the complete forward role to a T, which is probably where I'd play him because I'd have the faster lads playing the advanced forward role, the ones who can break the back line. But I'm not going to be able to play him in Europe. So what am I solving for this season? Now, bearing in mind we're trying to win the Champions League, which we'll call a chop and end to the series. It's probably been left too late. I think maybe in the summer, really should have pushed for another striker. So the mistake was made in trying to believe that Ibra would come back, but unfortunately he's not quite made it. We keep looking down the list. We have Lewandowski here as well, who again, perfect for the complete forward role. I'm not going to be able to play him in Europe. That'll be great if we're still here next season, but for now, not going to solve any issues. I've not got any real concerns about not winning the Premier League. Europe is what I'm bothered about. But all these guys here, they're not going to be able to come in and just walk into the European squad. So as you can see, I'm left with a bit of an issue. Do I buy a striker for buying a striker's sake, or do I just crack on throughout the year? Because at the end of the day, if I can't add a striker for Europe, why add a striker at all? And the only other little bit of news we had was the fact that Martial had that bid from Bayern Munich. He came to me saying he wants a new deal. He's not long had one. So I did just say to him, look, don't think your agent's doing the best by you. I think you should sack him. Martial agreed, and it staved off that contract talk for a little while longer. So as we know, the team suffered a defeat against City in the last episode, so I just want to G them up a bit. I want them to feel a little bit better about it all. I'm going to passionately tell them that they've been playing brilliantly. We want to go ahead and win the title. It gets everybody's morale up a little bit more, exactly the reaction I'm after. And yeah, there we go. So everybody's pretty much back on well, anywhere within superb and very good, which is the way I like to see it. So team meetings, just one of those little bit of morale boosters that we need every now and again. So that was literally all the administration we had to go through before we go into the live come against Chelsea. What do you guys think about the striking situation? Am I just throwing money away in a January period when I could just hang on and just sort of hope that we can see through to the Champions League? And if, God forbid, we don't and we're still here next season, maybe Dybala's mind will have changed about leaving Juventus. Maybe Juventus will come back down a little bit in evaluation. I don't know. Shove it in the comments. Let me know what you think. I could go out right now and chuck out a load of money and try and buy Lewandowski or Harry Kane and improve the strike force. But if that's only going to do it in domestic competitions, I do sort of question myself what would be the point. So other than that, we will head over to the selection screens to see how we're going to get on against Chelsea. So here we are on the team selection screen, guys, and one thing I thought I'd better add is Paul Pogba did indeed sign his new contract, so he's tied down to the club. It was just mentioned in the little sort of tunnel press conference, so I thought I'd better mention it to you guys, as soon as I've not done so already. Now onto the team selection screens, and as you can see, we've got De Gea in net. Now we've started Borthwick Jackson at left back. That is because in the City game where we lost, Alba made 6 mistakes, which is quite a lot of mistakes to make. It's not made very often. And someone who is world class like David Alaba, little bit, I don't know, he should be doing better than that. So I've dropped him for today's game. We played Borthwick Jackson. We've got Romagnoli and Smalling in defence with Darmian. We then have Pogba, Neves and Sanchez with Juan Mata. We have the returning Martial back from his suspension up top with Marcus Rashford. Onto the Chelsea team, who are incidentally now managed by Pep. If you remember, Chelsea, I was linked heavily with the Chelsea job in the press. I ignored it and so forth and so forth. They have gone and hired Guardiola. Not sure how that's going to pan out for him. Not sure how it'll pan out for him because he always seems to get the sack everywhere he goes. Obviously in the game, not in real life, although I'd watch out. But Courtois, Leon, Christensen, David Luiz, Zuma, Kante, Fabregas and João Mario in the middle, and then they have Lozano, Willian and Mandzukic up top. So we'll go and see what Roy has to say, and Roy is not handing out the hard tackling today. However, as usual, he is hard tackling Cesc Fabregas. We get used to seeing that. Don't know what he has with Cesc Fabregas, but he does seem to hate him. We will, however, get the hard tackling going in on both Willian and Lozano because they're the fast guys out on the wings, and our formation, if it's susceptible to anything, it is to good wing play. So as we head into the team talk now, I'm going to assertively tell them that the media have given them a lot of credit lately. Go out there and do a job. We've got a little bit of green going on, but obviously the squad suffered a little bit of sort of morale issue, so we are going to tell them that we have faith, try and get them greens back up to where we're used to seeing them, because as you know, as far as I'm concerned, morale is the most important part of FM. So the game kicks off, and of course, Chelsea haven't been doing that well in this save. I don't know how they've been in other people's saves. I know they've never really held a commanding spot in the Premier League. Tottenham and Arsenal are very strong generally in some of the saves I've seen or been part of, or certainly watch on YouTube. A lot of other content creators that I watch their series. But Chelsea never quite so, not quite as dominant no more, even though when I was linked by the press it spoke of an endless pot of cash to spend. Mata nearly scoring against his former club there. It was a great chance as well. So they never quite make it. Now there's talk of this endless pot of cash, but I never really see Chelsea spend big. They've still got good players in the likes of Eden Hazard and stuff, but it has to be said that their squad at the moment is just a little bit average-ish, shall we say? As Romagnoli nods one down to Courtois there. However, they have got David Luiz, who I think's a fucking legend. I really like David Luiz. Dirty bastard, but such a great player. But yeah, the players are just not quite what they used to be. It's Martial now. Plays in Rashford. Rashford saved by Courtois. A great save by Courtois as well as rushing out to meet Rashford's shot. Mata will take the resulting corner now. It's picked up by Zuma. That's Hervin Lozano. He is up there on his own. He's waiting for support. Neves snatches the ball off him. That was the end of that highlight. But we are back at Chelsea's third now. It's Borthwick Jackson standing in for David Alaba now. Still on the ball. Pass it. Well done, son. Romagnoli. Borthwick Jackson plays in Pogba. Pogba, get in there. What play that was. Played into Pogba. Pogba slips it into Rashford. Rashford beats Courtois at the near post. And it's fucking disallowed. Busy talking to the camera, not looking down the big ball with a red line through it saying, go fuck yourself. It's Pogba now. Mata to Rashford again. Had one disallowed already. Has just forced a save from Courtois. Chelsea have done nothing yet. We're 20 minutes in, although we did learn from the City game. Doesn't mean a thing. Headed over the bar. We have got another corner though. Mata to take it again. It's out with Neves. Neves whips another one in. Zuma clears it though. Pogba's picked it up at the edge, gives it Mata. Mata loses out to Leyen. And that's the end of the highlight. Amazing. It's Pogba now. Borthwick-Jackson whips in a lovely ball. What's going on here? It's Neves. It's played down to Darmian. Sanchez has got the ball now. Still Sanchez. Sanchez whips it in again, but it gets cleared out by Chelsea, playing very defensively. They've got a lot of men back as Neves once again takes the ball off Willian. Absolutely beasting him there. Not for the first time in this game either. It's Ruben Neves to Pogba. Borthwick-Jackson. Pogba's made a run forward, but he's come back. Neves again to Sanchez. Martial to Mata. Mata with a strike from distance. It wasn't a million miles away, but we need to be closer than that. It's Martial now in the box. Will he put a decent cross in? It's to Pogba. Nods it down straight into Courtois' hands. That's the 5th shot we've had on target. We have, of course, had a clear-cut chance as well. But yeah, 0-0. Half an hour in. Borthwick-Jackson now. So Rashford. Renato Sanchez to Martial. Martial turns on his own. Hits the bar. Unlucky Martial, unlucky. So just give him a quick touchline team talk and we're just going to tell them that we want some more assertively, demand a little bit more from the team. We are heading into half-time now. It's maybe a little bit late to sort of interject with that, but nonetheless, we have got an extra chance here. It's Darmian. Still Darmian. He's got 4 men round him. Loses out though. Romagnoli nods it down to Rashford. Pogba into Mata. Mata gets a shot on target. Once again, Courtois more than equal. Forces it out for a corner, which Mata will whip in. Doesn't go anywhere though. Pogba's got it on the edge to Sanchez. Sanchez gets a chance to shoot. It just whistles past the post. And that will probably be the end of the half. We will tell the guys assertively that we're far from pleased. And if we have a look, there's no one doing terrible, but once again, we're starting to see yellows creep into the game, and that's not something I like to see. So it's Romagnoli, Pogba, and Rashford who are all on yellow at the moment. So they're going to have to up the game a bit because I've got lads sat with greens on the bench, and they're the ones I look to bring on in the next 10 minutes or so. Pogba now on the edge of the area, saved once again by Courtois. Rashford's ran onto it though. Loses out to Leyen, not for the first time. Of course, Rashford is one of these players who might be looking to come off the pitch. It's Leyen with a cross. Willian very nearly scores, nearly adds to our current bad run woes, but no, David De Gea keeps it out. So we have just hit the 64th minute mark. I am going to make changes. Borthwick-Jackson. I'm going to bring on Fosu Mensah for him, but there's a trick there. We'll swap Mensah and Darmian about so Darmian can play left back. Paul Pogba's going to come off for Callum Gribbin. And Depay is going to come on for Rashford. That's 3 subs, all in the 65th minute. As long as this doesn't bite me in the arse now, I should be alright. But I am assertively, passionately going to tell them to push forward. We need to try and get a goal here because Chelsea, once again, attacking at our end. It's working out much like the City game. We've started really well, and then we've become set in our ways, and we're inviting them onto us, which we don't want to be doing. Mandzukic there has just picked up a little bit of an injury, so we'll give him a bit of hard tackling, but we'll get back to the game. David Luiz commits a foul. 80th minute, we've got 10 minutes left to try and push for something. We're going to tell them to go a little bit more attacking. Smalling nods one over the bar. We'll go to the instructions and we're going to go, not route 1, but more direct passing and hopefully try and fashion out a chance here. Memphis as he runs down. Come on, Memphis. Get in there. Get in. 1-0. Memphis Depay. Not long on the pitch. We did push for this attack. We're told to push forward and we went more attacking. And we went a little bit more direct and it's paid off there as Memphis gets through, scores what has to be said, it's a fine finish. He managed to get himself in pretty much a one-on-one position. And with 3 minutes to go, Gribbin whips one in. Smalling very nearly adds another goal, which would have just been ridiculous. But it looks like we've come through this one with 3 points by the skin of our teeth. Fosu Mensah now. So we drop down to contain. Højbjerg to Fabregas. Marcos Alonso. Fabregas again to Højbjerg. Lozano now out to Zuma, who's somehow on the right. It's Oscar. Oscar takes a shot from distance. We have got 3 minutes left. There is a chance or two left in this game, and I'm just hoping they fall to us and not Chelsea. So it might be the final highlight here. It's Højbjerg. Gribbin now. Gribbin releases Memphis. He loses out though. Gribbin still. Gribbin again. Gribben drifting out to the left, looks like he's heading down to waste a little bit of time. He's done a grand job of doing so. 10 seconds to go. This throw-in is going to signal the end of the game. You would have thought. Gribben plays it down to the corner. Darmian crosses it into Courtois, and I'm pretty sure that will be that. There we go. Full time. We scraped it. I mean, we absolutely scraped it, but we started well. So I'm going to tell the guys that it's a bit of a let-off, because it was. And as we can see, Juan Mata, well, you just had a poor game, mate, so you can seem demotivated, but I'm not happy with your performance today. 6.7, lowest out of the whole squad by the looks of it, as well as Marcus Rashford, who you weren't at your best today, so he deserved to come off. So yeah, 3 points, pretty good for us to bounce back after the City win. Not that convincing, but nonetheless, a win is a win. I'm looking at the schedule now, and if you remember, I did promise a double live com not so long ago, but the way the games fell, we had loads of news coming, etc., and I didn't do it. However, we do have a perfect double live com here. We have Arsenal in the Premier League, in which we'll play our very strong team, and then we have City in the FL Cup, where we can play a lot of the youngsters, because it's their trophy to try and win. So in the next episode then, it'll be Arsenal and City, double live com. What I'm maybe going to try and do is get straight into the games, not too much news at the beginning of the episode, and hopefully run them both on extended highlights, so we get the full effect of the game. That being said, if you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to leave a like. Maybe leave a comment when I was talking about the transfers earlier on. What do you think? What should I do? Is it worth just chucking money at someone if they can't play in Europe? If you're new around here, at the sub button, there's links in the description for the Season 1 and Season 2 review if you are new around here. And other than that, guys, I've been Teach FM, and I'll catch you later. See you in a bit.